With football in the rearview mirror, that means only one thing. Baseball is coming. Pitchers and catchers begin to report on Sunday. Welcome into the Sporting News Studios. I'm Tom Vandervoort, and here to talk with me about the upcoming season, or really the off season. We're just now finishing. Our baseball writer, Stan McNeil. And Stan, let's talk about the American League today. And let's talk about who you think had the best off season, or a couple teams that had great off seasons in the American League.
Well, you have to start with the Blue Jays. I mean, they took advantage of the Marlins' decision to kind of have a fire sale and ended up with what looks like the strongest roster on paper in the American League. I mean, when you can bring in three proven starters like Josh Johnson, R.A. Dickey, and Mark Buehrle, along with an all-star shortstop in Jose Reyes, and one of the game's fastest players in Emilio Bonifacio, you have really transformed your roster. And the Blue Jays, at least in some corners in Las Vegas, became favorites to win the World Series after they pulled off the deal with the Marlins.
And who would you say had maybe the worst or most questionable offseason?
You know, I look at the Orioles and I shake my head. This is a team that had a great season last year, surprised a lot of people, including me, by reaching the playoffs and pushing the Yankees to the limit in the division series. But now here we are 3 or 4 months later, and they haven't done anything. You know, the biggest move they've made was signing Jair Jurgens to a one-year deal, and this is a guy that basically pitched his way out of the Braves rotation into the minor leagues. So for me, the Orioles have really missed an opportunity this offseason by not doing, by just sitting around and not doing anything.
Now talk about maybe some high-risk and potentially high-reward off seasons. I think particularly about the Los Angeles Angels. Evaluate the Angels maybe and the Rangers off seasons for me.
You know, absolutely the Angels are taking a risk. You know, I mean, Josh Hamilton, 5 years, $125 million. That's a pretty big contract for a guy who has not really been able to stay on the field as much as you would like, given his production. He also had a kind of a strange or not a very good ending to last season. So the Angels definitely have taken a risk with Hamilton. If he plays like he did last May, they'll be great. And not only with Josh Hamilton, but signing Brian Madsen to be their closer in his first year off Tommy John surgery. This is also a bit of a risk, not so much financially, but just in terms of the expectations that the Angels will have going into the season to not be certain about that bullpen. That hurt them last year, and I'm not sure they've really addressed that as much as they could have in the offseason. As for the Rangers, yes, they missed out on all the big names to which they were linked. They didn't get Justin Upton. They didn't keep Hamilton. They didn't sign Zach Greinke. They couldn't trade for James Shields or R.A. Dickey. But, you know, that to me signified maybe they just didn't want to overpay for anything. I mean, these guys have done a great job in the past few years of not only fielding one of the best teams in baseball, but also keeping their farm system intact. And I think, you know, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt here. They know what they're doing. They still have a strong pitching staff. They still have enough offense. So I think the Rangers are going to be okay. I'm not saying they're a better team than they were last year, but I don't think they've really regressed to the point where they're going to fall out of contention.
All right, very good, Stan. Well, listen, we'll catch up with you tomorrow, talk about the National League. It's certainly going to be fascinating, as always, and we'll be talking with you throughout the season. So thanks for your time today.
You bet.